Specifically, Charlotte focuses on Teach for America, Young Life, the Christian Broadcasting Network, and National Public Radio. And post Denison, Charlotte looks forward to getting a job somewhere in Cincinnati, but also doing fundraising work and working with non-profit organizations in Cincinnati. So,
New Face of Charitable Giving, really value is knowing exactly where their money is going to go and how it's going to help the cause. They like when nonprofits effectively use technology and social media to engage in conversation with them. And they also really enjoy the chance to show off their expertise and knowledge, which usually comes in the form of serving on like a committee or board. So using all of that information and my checklist, I was able to determine that of the four, Young Life is currently the most effective in meeting the needs of millennials. All four are engaging in practices and strategies that are trying to connect with millennials, but they also all four have room for improvement, particularly in use of social media, which I think is because social media is still so like new and developing, especially within the nonprofit world. And so in conclusion, just some limitations that I face. Like I said, it is difficult coming up with a clear definition of who the millennials are. And then also certain questions on my checklist proved very hard to answer. And I think that's due to the fact that nonprofits are still similar to businesses in that they have to keep some of their strategies secret. They don't want to give away everything. So I wasn't able to answer all of my questions. And then also I only looked at 4 organizations. So clearly that's not representative of all nonprofits within the country. The significance of this, obviously, there are some personal gains for me. It tested my ability as a researcher and also gave me a wider understanding of a field that I hope to get into in the future. But I also think it provided useful information for nonprofits as to what the millennials are wanting and how to engage with them, and to recognize that they shouldn't overlook these younger donors because they are the new face of charitable giving. And finally, looking forward to the future, ways to expand upon this project. I did include 2 secular and 2